Good morning, everyone. It's story time with your celebrity lecturer. So today we're going to be talking about Queen Naomi of Benin. So around the 14th and the 15th century, late 14th century to the 15th century, this was the period that Queen Naomi, who was one of the wives of Oba Ozolwa in Benin Kingdom, reigned. She was married to, she was one of the women in the harem, one of the Olois, just like Queen Idia. Both of them were married to the Oba of Benin, who was Oba Ozolo at that point in time. So, what is unique about Queen Naomi? Very, very important issues to discuss about Queen Naomi. Oh, Queen Naomi got to the place of prominence as a result of the son she gave birth to. Her son, her presence became important when she carried a pregnancy, the pregnancy of her son, for 40 whole months. You know, in the palace, it is believed that there were so many women in the harem, and every woman was fighting for the position of to make their son become the next heir to the throne. So they were all looking out for their children, and at times like 4 or 5 women can be pregnant in the harem at the same time. So this was the case of Naomi. However, Naomi was pregnant and she did not put to bed for more than 40 months. Oral tradition and some historians posit that it could have been Queen Idia, who was one of the most powerful sorcerers in the entire kingdom, that have hindered her baby from coming forth, or other women in the harem. So we cannot ascertain that. Well, it is said that it was spiritual for her not to be able to deliver that child for 40 months, almost 4 years. She was pregnant with that child. So it took a whole lot of sacrifice. She had to make some sacrifice, appease the gods, before finally, after 40 months, she gave birth to her son, Prince Arwan of Benin Kingdom. That is the only giant prince that we have, and the first giant that we have in Benin Kingdom. But when Arwan was giving birth to, Arwan could not cry. He was giving birth to in the morning, and he didn't cry. And in the Benin tradition, if a child does not cry, even if he's breathing, it's regarded that the child is not yet alive. So it is only when the child cries that the child is regarded that, okay, now we have to celebrate and dance, we have a new son. So from morning to evening, they tried all their best. All the pediatricians, all the gynecologists, they all tried their best in the kingdom to make the child to cry, but the child refused to cry. That same time that Naomi's son refused to cry, in the evening of that same day, Oba Esigi, Queen Idia also put to bed her own son, and that is Oba Esigi. And Oba Esigi cried immediately. His birth was announced by the Oshodi, by the palace chiefs, to the Oba of Benin. So, and that now made Oba Esigi the second son after a son that was given birth to earlier. But that particular son, Ngodumo, who had issues with his leg, is crippled. So Oba Esigi now became the second son, and the first son, who is now the heir to the throne, because the first original son is crippled. He cannot become the king because he's crippled. So the second son, Esigi, will now become the king. So that was where the issue came from. So in the evening of that day, our prince, our giant prince, who is Arwan, now cried. So it was announced to the to the Oba. So the chiefs tried to inform the Oba that he was born earlier, but he didn't cry. But the palace and the kingdom had already rejoiced over Esigi, and he has already been seen as the next heir and all that. So they just said, okay, no problem. They were also celebrating the birth of the giant prince. However, in the entire situation, the birth of the giant prince and Esige at the same time led to the longest succession crisis that we ever had in Benin. If you read the history of Benin, you always have these different succession crises between princes in the palace. Not at times you have people from outside, but most times it's around between princes. Oh, this prince will say I'm supposed to be the Oba, you don't say so. But these two people became sworn enemies because their mothers were behind them. Idia was the mother of Esige. Omi was the mother of Omi was the mother of Aruan. And so as Aruan began to grow, he grew in stature. He was tall, powerful. They say at 14 he was already 10 feet, 9 feet tall. So I will drop my book on this below this video. If you are interested in having my book, Heroines in Pre-Colonial Benin, Their Lives and Transformation, you send me a message. Just put it down on the message. I need the book. Everything is on my book. Everything about Queen Omi, Queen Idia, all the heroines in Benin Kingdom, I wrote about them. So the issue with the two young men became sworn enemies. Omi kept telling her son, Aruan, you are the first. You were giving birth to first before Esige. Not only that, you were in my womb for 40 months. If not that they heard me from having you earlier, you would have even been like 2 or 3 years older than him. So she kept telling her son that he is the heir to the throne and should never allow Esige to rule over him. And that was how their succession crisis started. So the Oba Ozola actually loved Aruan. Aruan was a great fighter. He helped his father to conquer so many kingdoms. If you read the history of Oba Ozola, you know he was a conqueror. Ozola the conqueror. Aruan was one of his commanders in his army. They would go to different places. Aruan was known for pulling up palm tree to sweep his father's compound. So you can understand how powerful, how big, in fact, you can understand the kind of person we are dealing with. Just imagine somebody that pulls off a palm tree to sweep his father's compound. This was what Aruan did for several years. So, but his father understood that Aruan had power but did not have the wisdom that will keep the kingdom together. That he also understood that if I release this kingdom to Aruan, something might happen. And what will happen? One of the things that will happen is that Aruan might collapse the kingdom because he doesn't have the wisdom to manage the kingdom. So he said, okay, for this succession crisis to die down, let him settle Aruan. He now settled Aruan with another dukedom inside Benin, a province of Benin, which is Udo, another very big and beautiful place. He said, okay, Aruan, you go and become the Enogi of Udo. This is what usually happens. The Oba of Benin, is the one that appoints all Enigis to any dukedom. They are all his subject, his direct subject. So Aruan was there, but his mother kept telling me, Queen Omi kept telling him that you will not you will accept this one, but you will not stay here forever. Benin Kingdom, you are the Oba of Benin Kingdom and you must fight for your throne. So while he was there, Aruan was patiently waiting for the demise of his father so that he will take over Benin. He had the power, he had the army, he had the prowess, but he had no wisdom. That's the only problem he had. So in this, his mother was behind him, preparing him spiritually, physically. Let me quickly say this: in Benin Kingdom, we believe that the spiritual controls the physical. So for somebody to regard you as powerful, you must first have spiritual powers. If you don't have spiritual powers, you are not regarded as powerful. So Aruan had spiritual protection from his mother. Esige also had spiritual protection from his mother, Idia. I'll talk about Idia some other time, but today our focus is on Omi. So after the demise of the father, the real succession crisis came. It is regarded as Aruan and Esige's succession crisis is regarded as the longest succession crisis we ever had in Benin Kingdom. So the Uzamans understood that this war they will not be able to bear. So they said, okay, let us bring these two people together. I said, okay, whoever among the two of you, Esige and Aaron, whoever is able to bury his father among the two of you will become the Oba of Benin. So that will settle the matter. So let's not fight again. The fight is too much, the issues are too much. We cannot fight with a giant prince. You are both princes. So let us manage the situation. Like they said, okay. Then Aaron said, no problem. If you see that one, Aaron believed that he would be able to do that. So according to history and oral tradition, when the corpse of they were bringing the body of the Oba for funeral, that's the Oba Ozola, they had two coffins. One was well decorated with a lot of people and lot of dances, and the other one was shabbily arranged and all that. So the Oba, the two sons had to choose, but we know that Aaron is the first. So by the time he saw the one that was well decorated, he just said, yes, this is where my father is. He went with his troop and collected that one. But as he was going, one of his trusted ally, who was his advisor, told him that this corpse, your father is not there. Let us check the other coffin. I'm not sure it's in this one because it is well decorated. I'm sure they wanted to use this one to trick you. And I said, no, my father can never be in that low life traditional dance and all that. He cannot be in that place. He cannot. He is a king. Do you know what it is to be the king? He will be in this well decorated with a lot of people dancing and following it. So he grabbed that one. He got to Udo, celebrated. It was about to open the coffin and found out that actually it was stones and rubbish that was in that coffin. So that he was angry, he was bitter that he has been tricked by Benin. He said, okay, he was going to deal with them and all that. So at that point, he realized that for him to be able to deal with Esige, and he will have to undo the mom, who was a sorceress, powerful woman. Idia, a powerful sorceress. In fact, she was the backbone of her son. So what he did was he went to another village, Iyehoro village, where a particular woman who was known to be one of the most powerful sorcerers in the entire kingdom cooked him, prepared him for the battle with Queen Idia and her son Esige. So after preparation and all that, he started attacking the Benin kingdom, trying to make sure he gets back the throne. In fact, it was said that he used his charm on the coronation bead of Esige, and that cost this is seen in the Emobo celebration in Benin, that cost him some form of insanity, where the king will talk, will be shouting whenever he wears that coronation bead, will be shouting unnecessarily, will be dancing unnecessarily, will be singing loudly. So they had to, the mother, who is Idia, had to cover up all this situation, protected him, did everything well, in order to stop all these issues and all that. So they treated Esige and it became okay again, started doing well, and they started different battles. If I begin to talk about the battles that they had, in fact, I won't leave here today. So I'll round up with the last battle. At the last battle between Esige and Aaron actually lost his son. His mother had did some connection between him and his son. There was something he tied on in his neck that when if that bed continued to make noise, it will be showing over here that Aaron is still alive. But at a particular time, she did not hear the bell ring again, and she just told herself that it means Aaron has been defeated. But at that point, Aaron had lost his son and he was down, so he had to retreat back to Udo because he was tired of the battle, because he lost his son. When he got back home, before he got back home, the mother had gone to Odigi River to enter the river and she became a goddess over there, because she felt that her son had died. So when the son our giant Prince Aaron returned back to Udo. He heard that the mother had gone to Odigi River, and he felt bad. He felt lonely. His mom, who was his backbone, was gone. His son was gone, and he just said that no problem, he would join the mother. And that was how Aaron joined the mom, and that was the end of the longest succession battle in Benin. I know this story. I had to shorten the story, but if you want to read more of heroines in Benin from pre-colonial Benin, just send a write on this post that you would like to read more, and put your email there. Like the video, share the video, and we will get you a copy of my book. I'll send you an e-copy. Put your email, and I will send you an e-copy of my book, Heroines in Pre-Colonial Benin, Their Lives and Transformation. Thank you for your time, and for all those that said, "Oh, you didn't say it well," please. I have references in the book, and all in the book. If you want to see my references, they are in the book. The people, and these are oral tradition transferred from one generation to the other, so there might be alteration. You can also tell me your own part of the story, what you know in the story. We are not quarreling. I am a loyal daughter of Benin Kingdom. Thank you, everyone. Mwah.